What's good, guys? It's your girl FriskMeGood, your favorite fashion designer and fashion icon. And welcome back to my channel where we talk all things fashion. And guys, I am back. I know it's been a hot little minute since I posted a video essay. My life got so crazy. I actually moved to Los Angeles last year, and it was just a whirlwind of busy moments. I found it really hard to find time to just sit down and make scripts and edit videos and all of that good stuff. But nonetheless, we are back, and So Nostalgic is back, and we're not going anywhere. So I'm super excited to do this new season of So Nostalgic and continue to educate on the history of fashion in every sense. With that being said, today we are continuing my series, So Nostalgic, where we explore cultural moments, trends, and phenomenon that shaped our sense of style and our relationship with fashion. In this series, we break down the rise, the fall, and sometimes the comeback of the forces that influence how we shop, how we dress, and how we experience pop culture as a whole. And today we're looking at something that wasn't just a shopping event, but a defining moment in American consumer history, Black Friday. From the midnight lines to the iconic Doorbuster ads, Black Friday shaped entire decades of holiday fashion, buying habits, and retail culture. It influenced how brands marketed themselves, how trends spread, and how people interacted with style during the biggest shopping season of the year. But what if I told you the Black Friday that we grew up with, the chaos, the anticipation, the once a year thrill, is almost unrecognizable today. I even remember going to the mall in high school at 12 a.m. sharp, convinced that I was about to walk into legendary, life-changing discounts. And when I got inside, every store was only offering 30% off. I stood there like, I stayed up all night for this? Looking back, that wasn't just disappointment. It was a sign of a tradition already shifting. Because Black Friday is labeled as the biggest shopping event of the year, most people assume that the deals are extraordinary, but the truth is far more complex. Today, we're breaking down how Black Friday began, how it became a nationwide tradition, and how modern consumer culture ultimately rewrote its fate. Let's start at the beginning, with a history that's far older and far stranger than you might think. When we talk about Black Friday, most people think of retail, but the earliest use of the term had nothing to do with shopping, malls, or holiday cheer. The first Black Friday dates all the way back to the 1800s, and it was associated with financial disaster. In 1869, two Wall Street financiers, Jay Gould and James Fisk, attempted to corner the gold market. Their scheme created chaos for the U.S. economy, culminating in a market crash on September 24th, a day newspapers referred to as Black Friday. It was a moment defined by panic, scandal, and economic instability. Fast forward to the 1950s and 1960s in Philadelphia, where the term was repurposed by local police officers. The day after Thanksgiving became notoriously overwhelming as crowds poured into the city for both early holiday shopping and the annual Army-Navy football game. The congestion, the traffic jams, and the surge of shoppers created a level of disorder that overwhelmed police resources. Officers began referring to it as Black Friday. Retailers hated the name. They tried rebranding it as Big Friday, hoping to shift public perception, but it didn't work. The name stuck, but the meaning began to evolve. In the 1980s, retailers across the country reframed Black Friday entirely, crafting a narrative that stores would finally go into the black financially after a year of losses. This story was clever, memorable, and strategically effective, even though it wasn't historically accurate. But it helped transform Black Friday into something positive, something exciting, something customers could rally around. This rebranding positioned Black Friday as the official launch of the holiday shopping season. By the 1990s and early 2000s, newspapers were packed with glossy circulars. Malls extended their hours, and retailers implemented the first versions of limited quantity doorbusters.
On the day after Thanksgiving, you'll want to get up really early for Toys R Us Early Bird Special. Great deals and big savings Friday 6 to 11 a.m. Don't just lay in bed. Get there early and make Toys R Us your first stop for Early Bird Specials. Hurry in for huge savings on dolls, games, Legos, preschool toys, and more. The Toys R Us Early Bird Specials, Friday 6 to 11 a.m. You snooze, you lose.
What started as a term for financial panic and later chaos in Philadelphia had officially become a retail tradition, one that would soon explode into a nationwide event.
Yes, it's here, the day after Thanksgiving, which is traditionally the biggest shopping day of the year. And Channel 7's Ted Scouten is standing by now at Barton Creek Square Mall. Ted, I understand that Austin retailers think they're going to fare pretty well this Christmas shopping season.
Well, Neil, despite the problems that are going on nationally with the economy, here in Austin, all indications are pointing to a pretty brisk Christmas shopping season this year. And so far, all those indications seem to be holding true, because I haven't heard any complaints from any mall merchants about the number of people who have been here at the mall shopping today. Right now, things are very brisk. Lots of people in the mall. The parking lot is pretty crowded right now, all going to show that Austinites do take part in the long-standing tradition of coming to the mall the first day of the Christmas shopping season. From the bland to the bizarre, Austinites are out in full force, stocking up for Christmas 1991.
Well, actually it's exciting because all the noise, all the population's all here. Everybody's here having a good time and looking for the sales.
Yeah, you got to show it back. That's half the fun.
New York.
This year, New York merchants may be wishing they were here in Austin, because while most of the nation is suffering from a sluggish economy, we have 3% growth in Austin. And according to the Comptroller's office, a 10% increase in sales tax revenue. And all of that spells good news for merchants this Christmas.
What people are tending to do is saving their money. They are going to spend just like any other Christmas, and they will spend the same amount of money, but they're just holding on to it, and they're tending to spend a little bit later.
Hey, your receipt's in your bag. Thanks a lot.
While some think the rush hasn't gotten here yet, others say they're in the midst of it, pointing to brisker than usual sales.
Hair accessories, hair bows, bells, lots of bells, earrings. Pretty much everything in our store has been selling really good, but mainly hair goods.
Well, Neil, as far as specifics for today's shopping here at Barton Creek Mall and all over Austin, analysts should have a chance to look at them and tomorrow we should be getting some results as to how well Austin retailers are doing this Christmas season. Neil?
By the 2000s, Black Friday was at its cultural peak. The experience was unmistakable. Long lines stretching around entire malls, dedicated shoppers camping out with folding chairs and blankets, and crowds rushing through doors the moment they opened. News broadcasts regularly showcased dramatic scenes, stampedes, overflowing parking lots, and people racing towards heavily discounted television and game consoles. As extreme as it looked, the chaos was part of the appeal.
Because we've been up since the day before yesterday.
Yeah, it's all about the kids.
Crazy.
It was fine at the beginning, but then there was some brawling back by the Jeeps. Somebody got knocked down. Oh, it was bad.
Fighting over the vacuums.
It was pretty rough back there. We had to fight for these pretty hard.
So were they out already?
Yeah, they're gone. They were gone about 10 seconds.
10 seconds after the announcement was made, they were gone. Everyone kind of had an understanding of which way the TVs were going, so that hopefully, wouldn't be a bloodbath or a brawl. There was an older couple behind us waiting for one, and the old lady got knocked over. So it was like people just lose all sense.
There was an energy to it, a sense of tradition, excitement, and collective anticipation. For many, Black Friday became a family outing, a social experience, or even an annual ritual. It symbolized the beginning of the holiday season.
Look at what's going on at Best Buy in Jackson.
It's lights out at Best Buy, but some figured out a way to get the juice flowing. These people set up camp to get their hands on some of their favorite items once the doors opened.
I'm here to buy a TV and get an iTunes card and some Skylanders and a DS.
I'm trying to get the 40-inch TV.
Flora Howard has been here since noon. She says it's been worth the wait.
It's a great deal on the television, $170-some when you're paying $400 for it, so it's worth the wait.
The doors are open over at Toys R Us. Shoppers were looking to save big bucks.
So how much money are you expecting to save?
I'm expecting to save here what I mapped out, about $100.
At least $75.
Ashley Bates was first in line to try to get those bargains.
I work real hard. She's a stay-home mom, and so every dime I can save, it probably helps.
And then, slowly, that urgency began to disappear. The rise of the internet fundamentally reshaped customer behavior, and therefore, Black Friday itself. As e-commerce grew throughout the early 2000s, retailers faced a new challenge. Online shopping brought convenience, speed, and a level of accessibility that physical stores couldn't match. In 2005, the National Retail Federation introduced Cyber Monday, a day dedicated to online deals. At first, Cyber Monday was seen as a complement to Black Friday, a digital option for those who didn't want to fight the crowds. But this separation wouldn't last long, as online shopping became the default for millions of customers and retailers began merging the two events. Early access deals appeared online. Pre-Black Friday sales emerged. Entire websites launched exclusive discount codes days, weeks, and even full months before Thanksgiving. What once made Black Friday special, its concentration into a single day, was slowly being eroded by the convenience and ubiquity of online shopping. And once shoppers realized they could secure deals from home without waiting in line at midnight, the culture surrounding Black Friday began to shift. By the late 2010s, retailers were pushing Black Friday earlier each year. Sales began the week of Thanksgiving, then the week before, and eventually, in some cases, as early as October. Stores even launched Thanksgiving Day openings, prompting public backlash and nationwide conversations about workers' rights, family time, and the ethics of holiday labor.
Doors open Thursday, 8 p.m.
More and more, Black Friday is turning into Black Thursday. Large retail chains like Toys R Us, Target, Kmart, Walmart, and Sears are opening their doors to deals on Thanksgiving night.
Retailers are trying to anticipate and meet the expectations of their customers. And so 3 years ago, we saw a number of retailers sort of test drive Thursday openings.
According to the National Retail Federation, in 2009, 3% of Thanksgiving weekend shoppers hit the stores on Thursday. In 2010, 9%. And in 2011, 24%.
It's great for us, but not great for the workers.
Some of them honestly do not mind working. However, there are many others who do mind. There are many who want to spend it with their families.
Target employee Sarah Wiley is among the more than 360,000 people who signed an online petition on change.org, asking Target to, quote, take the high road and save Thanksgiving. Wiley was able to switch schedules so she doesn't have to work, but is pushing back against a larger trend.
Thanksgiving is one of the few retail days off where many employees can just stay at home and enjoy the day with their family where they don't have to work. And that's one of the very few remaining holidays, and now that's being cut into even more and more. Last year it started at 12, now it's up to 9.
A spokesman for Target says its 9 p.m. opening time nationwide was, quote, carefully evaluated with our guests, team, and the business in mind. But some stores are resisting this change, keeping the holiday shopping tradition to after turkey eating hours. In fact, JCPenney tweeted out, Thanksgiving is for thanking, not shopping.
It's just not worth my time to, leave Thanksgiving dinner or Thanksgiving company and buy a purchase.
Would you ever come out on Thanksgiving and shop?
No, absolutely not. No reason for that. You can do it all on the internet now.
In fact, Thanksgiving is becoming one of the biggest online shopping days of the year. So some retailers say, instead of letting shoppers do commerce on the couch, it makes sense to get them in the store.
Eventually, many stores reversed course and closed for Thanksgiving again, but the damage was done. The Black Friday shopping calendar had been completely restructured. When deals are available for 3 to 6 weeks instead of one day, the sense of urgency completely disappears. The cultural spectacle fades. The intensity of the holiday diminishes. Consumers also began receiving constant promotional emails, text alerts, app notifications, and subscription-based discounts. Black Friday wasn't a day anymore, it was a season. And ironically, by stretching out the holiday, retailers undermined the very appeal that once made Black Friday so powerful. Alongside these structural changes, consumer values began to evolve. The rise of sustainability, ethical consumption, and minimalism reshaped spending habits. Younger customers became more interested in thrift shopping, furniture flipping, upcycling, and supporting small businesses, moving away from mass-produced items. Experiences, travel, and personal enrichment began to outweigh material purchases. Social media accelerated this shift by highlighting lifestyle aspirations over ownership. At the same time, inflation and economic uncertainty forced many people to evaluate whether the deals were actually deals. Investigations revealed that some retailers raised their prices weeks before Black Friday, only to discount them back to regular levels.
With the days of doorbusters long gone, the calendar creep of Black Friday has now made its way earlier in the week. Amazon, Target, and Walmart are already offering discounts to consumers.
The 25th of November? That's less than a fortnight.
Putting the onus on the shopper to see if the prices are truly perfect now. Shoppers are skeptical.
Oh, it says it's 20% off, but that's actually the price it's been all year.
Black Friday does remain the best time of year for the deepest discounts, according to Adobe Analytics, which tracks prices online.
Because consumers perceive the best absolute discounts to fall between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, they really make sure they're offering some of their best priced items during that period.
We wanted to see for ourselves, tracking the price tags on some gifts you might be eyeing for the holidays. Take the newest AirPods Pros, which have been discounted on and off through the last few months. But the best deal we saw was this weekend, $30 off. And the same trend with this coffee maker, which is the cheapest it's been in months. But other items we tracked, like these sneakers, these toys, or this TV, haven't been significantly discounted in recent weeks.
I think that some brands may say it's on sale. However, it's like the same price, but they may just like fake the price as like higher and say, oh, it's on sale.
Experts advise use price checking tools and take advantage of price matching in store to truly get the best deals. A little homework going a long way this holiday season.
As trust eroded, so did participation. Black Friday was no longer synonymous with guaranteed savings. It became a marketing performance rather than a cultural event. Artificial intelligence is already using browsing history and purchasing patterns to deliver tailored recommendations. Instead of massive crowds chasing generic deals, consumers may receive curated promotions aligned with their interests. Augmented and virtual reality are creating immersive shopping experiences. Digital fitting rooms, virtual store walkthroughs, and interactive product demos may soon replace traditional retail experiences. Meanwhile, there is a growing movement toward local and handmade goods. Small businesses, artists, and independent designers are reclaiming space once dominated by big box retailers. In a world where consumers desire meaning, intention, and individuality, mass consumption holidays may continue to lose influence. And Black Friday may ultimately shift from a shopping experience into a symbolic reminder of an era defined by a very different kind of customer culture. Black Friday didn't simply fall, it evolved. What once began as a day defined by chaos, exclusivity, and community ritual transformed under the pressures of digital innovation, shifting values, and new consumer realities. The Black Friday many of us remember, the lines, the anticipation, the annual sense of excitement may never return. But in its place, a new ecosystem of shopping, technology, and conscious consumption is emerging. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of So Nostalgic. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you like the video, follow the channel, and subscribe so you don't miss the next installment in this series. Your support truly means the world, and it helps me continue creating these long-form fashion and cultural breakdowns. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video, and until then, thank you for watching. Bye!